I do not knock those that are in therapy. The reason I don't personally believe in therapy is, for me, no, it's not just my stubbornness to say I don't need it. I feel like when we get into the mental health conversations, it becomes an easy, and I'm going to say this with quotations, so don't take it literally, it comes as an easy cop-out. So while I do feel that therapy is needed for people who have their extreme circumstances, whatever that is, and extreme is subjective, I believe more in mental toughness, and I speak up more of mental toughness than I do of mental or therapy type of deal. So where me and Jay Jackson have these circle conversations with friends of ours, Mike, the Talias, the Mias, and all of them, where I feel that I have a legitimate network of friends and family. If I have an issue that I need to discuss with somebody on some real shit, I have people that I am invested in and who's invested in me mentally, emotionally, to get the objective reaction.
I think you're in denial.
That's fine. They say that to me every 48 hours. I'm in denial.
But it may be true. I think you're in denial because you have these people around you right now and you still don't take heed. So maybe you need to speak to somebody who does not know you, does not know anything about you, to give you a perspective that may not be biased in a sense.
I'm not a fan.
It may sound like you scared.
I'm not a fan. To me, I'm not a fan of paying somebody to be objective.
That's me. Pay for it. I'm sure you get great benefits. I don't pay for mine.
MC, yep, your insurance will cover that.
Because my insurance covers mine.
They still getting paid.
You not paying
coming out of your, come on.
I don't feel the need to pay somebody. I have, again, Jay Jackson would tell me straight up what his feelings is with no filter, just like I tell him and vice versa. And we have a circle of 6 to 8 friends in our crew, and we're all transparent with each other for that. We can all tell each other that we're fucked up in one way or another, and we all have our own issues, right? But we know it comes from a good place. So I don't take it in a sensitive matter when Jay Jackson say, hey, Trav, you fucked up because you do X, Y, and Z. I know it comes from a good place from Jay Jackson. Me and him might disagree. We'll have our back and forth. And at the end of the day, my mentality is my mentality, not saying it's right or wrong. His opinion is his opinion, not saying it's right or wrong. But I can have that legitimate conversation at heart to heart with him, whether it's talking about women, health, financial stability, or whatever, without having to go see a shrink about it. So for me,
I said therapy. I didn't say a psychiatrist or a psychologist. See, there's a difference.
Tomato. Forgive me. I'm sorry. So
no, there is legit a difference.
There's a difference, bro.
There's a difference. A psychiatrist is going to be the one to prescribe you certain medications. Okay, a therapist is different from a psychologist.
But therapy not for everybody.
I absolutely agree. But
so I do the same thing that Trav do. I got homies that I'd rather talk to and family members that I know I can talk to. Therapy just, it don't work very well. I'm with that. I'm not paying somebody. I'm paying you to listen. So you're gonna tell me what most 9 out of 10 what I want to hear. When I went to therapy, that's what I got. The 3 times I went, I ain't liked it at all.
But do you actually do stuff though? Do you do stuff?
I'm not gonna lie. I did pay for therapy. It didn't work for me. And it's the same way with, like, it was cool. It was helping a little bit, but I realized talking to my friends helped way more because even Mufasa brought it to my attention. When like early when quarantine first started, I started to fall off like my therapy because I didn't have constant money coming in like that because I had lost my job because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So talking to him and talking to a couple of my friends helped me out. Like that's why now I'm in the stage where I'm in right now where I'm not like in a constant loop of the like depression because I was fighting it for so long. I didn't really know how to deal with it. I didn't know who I could talk to about it. I thought going to therapy was gonna help. It did, but it didn't. It wasn't until I started like really like fixing certain relationships with a lot of my friends and talking to them about certain shit and actually applying some of this shit where I started to feel a little bit more better. So it's just like with Trav, I'll say try it to see if it works. You don't know if something might work or not, because if you're talking to them and it's really not motivating you to do better yourself, but at the same time, he gotta want it for himself. If he doesn't want it,
because that's the difference between Mufasa, you, and Trav.
Yeah,
y'all had your therapy sessions, and then y'all applied what y'all heard. Trav not trying to hear shit. He gonna do what he gonna do. He hear you.
Not only that, y'all gotta put things into perspective too. Like, how old are you, Trav? 36. You think in 3-4 sessions they gonna fix 36 years worth of work? It's really a process.
And I still ain't got nowhere.
Like, yeah, like
I just think you gotta apply. I think you just have to apply. Like when I went to therapy, not only therapy, fuck that, because therapy was cool. But when I was talking to Dom, well, Mufasa, my fault. When I was talking to Mufasa about certain shit, it was because I wasn't doing things that was making me happy, and I was make everybody else happy, and I was suffering through that shit. So I had to do what was right for me so I could be happy or whatever. If Trav don't feel like he's doing anything wrong, then Trav can't help himself. We could say whatever we want to say, but if he doesn't want to do anything for himself, then what they gonna go through one ear and out the other? At the end of the day,
as it's been doing for the last hour.
Yeah, it's been doing.
Yeah, so we've been doing it, but it's up to him to make that change. I don't know what it's gonna take for him to make the change. I hope it's not gonna be too late, because he said there's no time on what he's gonna do, but there's no time limit on when your health, like it shouldn't be no time limit on your health. Your health should be your number one priority, period. Or whatever. Because like the worst thing, just like she said, the worst thing that probably could be said to you is either your life being cut short, or Shorty said like you're not lasting too long, or you can't even get hard because of your diet. Like, you know how embarrassing that's gonna be? She won't do.
I have a question.
Like, you can't break it down because you like, you know.
Trav, do you want kids?
What's up?
Do you plan on having kids?
I like to have a family. Yeah.
So one of the things I can say.
So I always answer that question that way because I feel I want wife and kids, not just kids. So that's why I would prefer a family rather than just having kids. So,
but do you want an add water and stir family, or do you want to be the seed that made the family? Let me repeat it again. Do you want to add water and stir family?
He wants his own child.
Thank you. Okay.
But finish. I want Mufasa. Let Mufasa finish asking his question or saying what he was about to say.
One of the things that motivated me, stop my procrastination. One of the things that stopped my procrastination and just pushed me to be like better and to want better for myself is like when I found out I was having a son. That might be what Trav needs. Trav he reminds me of my mom and my dad. You don't want to wait until you like 50s, like in your 50s, turning 60 to stop drinking and smoking, man. My mom is walking around every day. My doctor told her like she's a walking heart attack. She can have a heart attack at any minute. My dad just stopped drinking and smoking. He's on high blood pressure medicine. You want to be able to enjoy your life when you have kids, or just enjoy your life for yourself, man. Don't wait till it's too late. But he's stubborn, just like the both of my parents, and he might be the few who has to wait that long, 50, 60, and say, you know what, I'm gonna get myself together, and by then it could be too late. The lifespan of a black person, especially a black man who eats the way we eat, bro, I'm 60. Lost my grandma at 54 from high blood pressure. So just think stuff like that, Trav.
Real talk. I feel like Freck should be on this conversation because we had all this real talk. We was in Atlanta last year, right? Jay Jackson.
Listen, man, Freck would have been like, "Yo, I'm done. I'm done."
No, wait, don't worry about that, Trav. We us three, we gonna talk in Atlanta. But what I do want to say though, just to kind of like harken back to you saying, you have us to talk to. You do have us to talk to, but in our defense, even when we're trying to be objective, we're really not, because we know you, because we know you, we love you, and we've known you and loved you for over a span of like 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, we're not professionals. You feel what I'm saying? Like you could vent to me all day. We could have, as you call it, real talk, like all day. But at the end of the day, I'm not a professional. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to I can't listen to your conversation and give you a professional opinion from a person who went to school specifically for this. I can only try to give you my opinions based on what I'm hearing, but there's no way for me to really, truly, technically connect the dots based off of my knowledge of you, based off of the stories you tell us, based off of your upbringing, your childhood, what you know what I'm saying? Like, none of us are well versed enough to do that, to even compare ourselves or put ourselves in the same breath as a professional. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the one difference, the hugest difference that would, you know what I'm saying, distinguish just you venting to us, people that you trust, versus telling those same exact stories to someone who is a professional person. Because like you might think that you're getting help from us, but whole time we could really be offering you bullshit without us, like unbeknownst to us, because we not professionals. You get what I'm saying? Like, or it could be as analytical and as outside of the box as I think. Because I didn't go to school for this, I could still be missing a whole wave of information to be giving you, a whole wave of feedback to be giving you, a whole, like, I could just be missing a whole huge piece because I'm not, my eye and my ear and my brain hasn't been trained to like really give you the type of feedback that you would probably need. You get what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you. On that tip, though, I would say, because again, and now we're going to get into the semantics of what we feel the true purpose of therapy is for, right? And it's different for different people. So that's why I want to say I don't knock others who do it for themselves. Like, it depends on how you react to certain situations and certain people's. Like me, I lost my father. He died. I take it and I deal with it. Other people need that sense of therapy to deal with death in the family or in general. Doesn't knock one over the other, in my opinion. I'm just saying it's not for me. I don't need to see somebody to talk to somebody objectively about my father's death. So to your point, the fact that we can have the conversation, me and you, about whatever, I'm not looking to where, okay, well, what do you know because you're not a professional? I'm looking at it from a space of, because we're all students of life. Life is the best teacher, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Life and experience. So you're giving your objective perspective to me based off of your life experience. When we compare our stories or we compare our L's that we've taken in dating type of deal, we're speaking from our perspective because we've been out here experiencing it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Compared to others who we know who are married with children, and they can give us their perspective from them in a sense, and from their sense, they're winning to where they found the woman that was right for them, have the children and the family, and they can give their perspective from there. So I just say that to say, I hear you on the tip to where maybe somebody who's professionally trained, maybe somebody who went to school, who's an academic on the subject of psychology and how the mind works could be more beneficial. I hear you, but yet I feel that it's more beneficial to have the real talk conversation with somebody who is also a student of life, and that we also share those life experiences, and not just recently because I'm paying you to tell me about your life experience, but the fact that we've been around each other for so long, and that I know that it's coming from a genuine place for your life experience and giving your opinion based on mine. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes perfect sense. But what about this? Let me add on to everything that you said. How dope would it be if you could get both of our feedbacks? You feel me? You can get feedback from the people who've known you for 20 years, who have an actual relationship with you, who are familiar with how you operate, how you move, how you think. You know what I'm saying? Your experiences, because part of those experiences, I was probably right there beside you. And then you can also get the professional feedback, and then you can take the two pieces of feedback, put them together, and then make up your own mind as to how you're going to move forward with improving upon your life.
I guess for me, and forgive me, so, because you know this is a trigger for me when we get into this therapy talk. I guess I have